The long-term plans right now for Kamehameha is to honor the current leases of all of our lessees in Kamilouni, and the leases currently will be expiring in June of 2025. I know collectively that the spillway continues to be a problem, and that is something that we would like to work with the farmers in Kamilouni. And some of the concerns raised by individual lessees include some of the restrictions that are currently in our leases. Those include, first, that 50% of the farm has to be in agricultural production. Second, that the majority of the income of these lessees have to come from that land. And third, that there is no subleasing on that land.
When I think about Waimanalo and I think about some of those gentlemen estates, I become very concerned as to what's going to happen for the farmers in Kamilouni Valley. And will there be special consideration to the fact that they had agreements with Henry J. Kaiser and Kamehameha 30-something years ago? And even though they may have a wonderful situation today, in my heart, and I think the community would agree, that by right they should continue to have a wonderful situation, because remember how they got there. They were pushed back there.
Committing or at least recognizing and continuing having the flexibility for our true farmers to continue true farming operations. So I think there will be some variables in the comps in that we're going to be listening to all sides, but we are going to probably have flexibility built into the renegotiations.
The thing that we are concerned right now most is what's going to happen to the renegotiation of the lease rental. The reason is this. We inquired and we were told that they would not discuss the renegotiation of lease rental until July, I think it was 2010 or something, you know, where the actual agreement between us and Bishop Estate as to the renegotiation of the lease rental. We requested that this be made known to us because it's not a simple matter just to pick up. You can't tell us in 2010, okay, this is our lease, and we find that, you know, the lease rental is prohibitive. So it's, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but you're making it awfully, awfully difficult for the farmers to be thrown out in a matter of days. So we've requested that, but we've never had any response except the fact that we will not renegotiate the lease until 2010. Now, we're not saying that you should give us something for nothing. I don't think the farmers ever asked Bishop Estate or anyone else to give us something for nothing. And we have a number of agreements that we have worked out with Bishop Estate. One example, I am one of the farmers, but I haven't farmed a day in my life. But I was one of the original individuals that negotiated with Bishop Estate and Mr. Kaiser. Based on this, the farmers requested that I might remain, you know, as a farmer and take a piece of property there, which I consented. But the lease requires, as you had mentioned earlier, that you have to farm it yourself, et cetera, et cetera. However, understanding the lease itself, we did request of Bishop Estate to consider 3 of us, the original 3 that organized this group, the original 3 that negotiated Mr. Kaiser, Bishop Estate, and was able to put this whole 6.2 thousand acres, which was actually in farming all these years when it was converting to urban when Mr. Kaiser came in. And they said, yes, we will keep you there. We'll consider, you know, whatever that needs to be considered to keep the farmers who remains in this area. We lost most of the farmers at that time to Lua Lua Le, which is way out in Waianae. Okay, now, having had this discussion, we're still waiting so that we be given sufficient time to sit down and be told what is it going to be. Because we certainly don't want to be told at the last minute. So if this can be expedited, I think we'll be moving forward. We've never said that, you know, we're against whatever Bishop Estate is doing. The landowners, they deserve the income that should arrive from the ownership of the land. We're not against that, but all we're asking is a fair approach to both parties, because a natural resource industry such as agriculture produces income for everybody in this room. You know that, I know that, but some of us, may not understand that. So with this, I would like to request that we start negotiation as soon as possible. If it's possible, let's make it tomorrow, so we can prepare, you can prepare, and come up with something that's acceptable to all and beneficial to the community.
I think once the pending renegotiation is finished, then the parameters will make it easier for Kamehameha to be able to talk to you about the more specific terms. But I'll say it again, I'm trying to give you some of the guidelines that are currently in the leases that we can start discussing. The point on the comps by Elizabeth and yourself about ensuring that you get a fair shake is already being considered by Kamehameha. We're actually looking at some of the other issues in the leases. And so I will go back to Kamehameha to find out, once the no renegotiation is finished, if we can start discussions on this. And I'll find out, I'll get back to you on that.